You dipshit.
Someone turned the auto start off.
It's okay.
Good morning again, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We are 2 minutes late because this fuckhead in the booth, and you can put the camera on yourself, decided not to hit start.
The auto start's
You
no way on
fucking
here.
asshole.
I can't control
Hey,
what idiots do.
This is not how I want to start a show on a Monday, buddy.
How am
I spent
supposed-
2 minutes talking to myself.
Welcome to my life. I do that
Okay.
for 45 hours a
Mute
day.
your mic, and I don't want to talk to you for the rest of the show. Shut the hell up.
Well, I'm
Anyways,
going to keep talking.
We're going to restart the show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning
Can I go
Woodward
home
Show.
now?
Shut the hell up, fish. Here on the Woodward Sports Network.
I blame Alex Westbrook.
Adham, Beydoun, Jeff, Iafrate. You're fired, by the way. You know, put the camera back on.
Yeah?
You're fired. You're fired. Last time I'm dealing
Me
with
or
that
him?
shit. Last time I'm dealing with that shit. Unacceptable. Both of you. Moving on. Back to the show. Hope everybody had a
Alex, let's
fantastic
go home.
weekend, and I hope your Monday is off to a better start than mine is, clearly. But happy Monday, all of you. I hope you enjoyed the NFL Divisional round. I sure as hell did. The teams that got through, to me, played the best football, and I love that.
Yeah.
No controversy. Oh, the talk of the referee.
Right.
This play, that play, nothing. Niners got through. They deserved to go through. They were the better team. Eagles got through. They were the better team, clearly. You look at the Bengals, they dominated the Bills. The Chiefs, it was a close game.
Yeah.
Mahomes missed a, quarter, not even a quarter, but, you know, a drive, two drives at most. He came back, willed his way through, 27-20. Good for them. Chiefs back to their 5th straight AFC championship, by the way. And it was just a good weekend of football.
Oh.
That was good football outside of the Giants-Eagles game. You know what? I guess you could even say the Bills-Bengals game wasn't all that, but the Niners-Cowboys, close-ish. Cowboys never really felt in it. It was always the Niners that were stronger, but Jeff, very happy with the football I watched this weekend.
Did you see the last play of that Cowboys game, too? That Kellen Moore cooked up? Where
You mean
had
that Zeke Elliott line? Look, they should pay him to be the center. He contributed more as a center in that game than he did as a running back. I was impressed.
What happened. It was all pretty much expected. I mean, I guess besides the point of the Bills getting absolutely demolished, but I picked the Bengals. A big reason for that, number one, it was Josh Allen's turnovers. He threw an interception, but on top of that, the Bills never had an offensive identity. They couldn't run the ball, and in that game, in the snow, in Buffalo, the Bengals looked like the team that were more comfortable in that type of environment. The Bills, they struggled to run the ball. It looked like Josh Allen a lot of the time was just trying to go for the home run in that type of weather. And Joe Burrow, to me, I don't know, man. Joe Burrow is getting to that class right now. I know he's already there, but I think right now in the entire NFL, you have Mahomes and you have Burrow. Like, those are the two dudes. Now, luckily for Lions fans, you're not in the AFC. You don't got to deal with any of these guys till you get the Super Bowl. So that's what I was thinking about watching the games.
You know what? This is going to be a great show because there's so much you can take away from this weekend. I mean, look, yes, you have the championship games now decided between the AFC and the NFC. That's all great. We're excited. We get to talk about it. That's awesome. But there are major implications for two sides. One, of course, the Detroit Lions supporters, every single one of you. There is something that you learned of over the weekend. There is something that is real happening. And the second thing is, where does your quarterback rank among all the quarterbacks in the NFL? Now, I think there's a tier list. There's about 4 guys that are untouchable, that are so great. Hell, I would give up my wife for one of them. I would do whatever it took. Then there's the second tier, and the third, and where your quarterback falls, I think you're going to be surprised this morning. But having said that, you guys are all asking questions in the chat. YouTube membership. So, I'll explain them, and then we'll get back on with the show. Basically, this is a really cool feature that we've been planning on rolling out for a while now. Cool emotes. You can see Maz. I'll go ahead and spam Maz's face in the chat just for you guys to check it out. Look, we have so much work going into this. Not only the emotes, not only the membership-only chats, not only the membership-only videos. We have so much coming out over the coming weeks, months. It's going to be so fun during the NFL offseason to experiment and have fun with this. So I hope you all enjoy it. Spam the emotes for all I care. I don't care at all. On Wednesday, we'll drop 40-plus emotes, so it won't just be the 4 that are available now. We'll have way many more available. But Jeff, how was your weekend, buddy?
It was good. I went up to Windsor for the weekend. Saw some Woodward sports supporters there, which is funny.
I was not expecting to see you today.
I'm fine. And listen, after Saturday, Sunday, chilled out, watched some football, went to the Nonas, had some pasta, and now we're here. So no, it was a great weekend, man. A lot of good football. I remember looking up at the TV at one of the restaurants I was at, just seeing that the Eagles were already up like 30-something to 7, and they ended up finishing the game. I don't think the Giants scored till like late in the game, and I'm like, well, Giants. As much as I talked about the Giants and how I thought they would challenge the Eagles, I was completely wrong. The Eagles are a damn good football team, as they were pretty much all regular season, and they still are. And Jalen Hurts, I mean, they didn't really put the ball in the air that much. I mean, they just dominated, in the run game. I think they ran it for over 300 yards. But what a weekend, man. I think overall what you could take away if you're a Detroit Lions fan is in this NFC, you have the top dogs. And besides that, I think everybody else, I mean, you can contend for the NFC. I mean, you're looking at the Niners, the Eagles, but besides that, the Cowboys, they pretty much were what we thought they were, frauds. And for the rest of the guys, it's like, okay. I mean, the Giants are just happy to be there.
I'm just saying, hear me out on this, okay? However you want to take it, I don't care, to be honest with you. I don't care if your reaction is good or bad. The truth is, last night, and I'm not going to play the what-if game, okay? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say if the Lions played any. I'm not doing that, okay? But what I will say is, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, you look at their portfolios, their resumes. Mm-hmm. They're all very, very similar. Now, Goff may be more accomplished than the two, but this is what happens when you overpay your quarterback. And this is why there are so many people in town talking about drafting one, because you don't want to have to pay Goff. But if you look at I would say his performances over the last, 10, 12, 15, even 14 weeks. Hell, he was consistent all season long outside of Dallas and New England.
Right.
That's a guy that you can win meaningful games with. That's a guy that you can win regular season games with. That's a guy you can win a playoff game or two with. That is a guy that can maybe get you to an NFC title game. You know how I know this? He's done it already. Kyle Shanahan's doing it with Brock Purdy. And the truth is, in the NFC, there's only 2 teams that are better than you, in my opinion, as a roster, and 2 teams that have higher upside than you do at the moment, and that's the Niners and the Eagles. And what do you know? They're in the NFC Championship game. And there is a significant fall-off between 1 and 2 and the rest of the NFC. So that's where we're at this morning. There is a lot of implications for the Detroit Lions after Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Not because they did anything right or wrong, for the simple fact that there's a clear gap between the best teams in the NFC and everybody else. Now,
right.
Where the Lions are, I would say closer than most teams are to the Niners and the Eagles.
Yeah, I would
agree.
agree.
You look at the Cowboys, very talented team. So talented. Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb. So much talent on that team. You look at the defense, it's better than it's been in years. They actually had a good showing out in San Francisco, and Dak Prescott 2 interceptions. Well, he held us back, and we're paying him $40 million. Oh, great. We're fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks to suck.
And I'm glad you brought up the quarterback conversation, because that's probably the one thing I took away watching the playoffs, especially on the NFC side. The AFC is a whole nother animal. But if you're looking at Jared Goff and you're looking at teams that are in the playoffs currently, looking at all the teams that just missed the playoffs or didn't make the playoffs, the Lions probably, they do have the most experienced quarterback. I mean, the only quarterback you could probably argue would be Kyler Murray. He's going to get paid $50 million. I mean,
Jared Goff is more experienced than Kyler Murray. So,
but I think he had a better year technically. I mean, Kyler got injured. But the point I'm making is, even for a team like the Giants, right? They had a good run. They lost to the Eagles, but still, good season. They got a lot of things to figure out. Is Daniel Jones their franchise quarterback? The Lions, you have your quarterback for right now that can even get to where Daniel Jones got to and possibly even further. So the Lions at least have that going for them. You have a quarterback you can win playoff games with. You can maybe even make a playoff run, especially in the NFC. And who knows what he can do after that. I know everyone brings up the Super Bowl. He scored 3 points, but I'm not going to sit here and say he can't win a Super Bowl. I'm just not. So at least you have a quarterback who's much more experienced than the field. Like even the Vikings, you win the NFC North, and you're still not sold on your quarterback. Like imagine that. Right now, the Lions are in a great position moving forward. They really are.
Fair enough. Well, look, let's do this. We'll take a break. When we get back, Joe Burrow leads the Bengals past the Bills. And I got to say, back-to-back AFC title appearances for Zach Taylor and company. Not being talked about enough. How? Someone explain this to me. They've got arguably the second-best quarterback in the NFL. And they are loaded, and they are delivering. They're delivering on their expectations. Unbelievable. We'll talk about the Bengals coming up in a bit. 8:30, Mahomes, Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid, what they all have in common coming up at 8:30. 8:45, we'll look at the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. I mentioned it earlier. Tiered quarterbacks. There's 4. There's just 4 great ones, and the rest are the rest. Now, where Goff lands in that group, who knows? But Jeff and I will have that conversation at 8:45. Top of the hour, 9 o'clock. NFC quarterbacks. And why you may have the second-best quarterback entering next season and what that says about your team going into 2023. We'll go through the state of the NFC, why optimism is justified, and so much more. All that and more. I can't wait. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Well, it's a new year, and let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. Call them any day or night, and a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as you need. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work in people who are proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for more information.
Stay out of my life, please. Thank you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, let me tell you about my good friends over at Custom Health Centers. Dr. Jason has done such a good job with Ryan Ermanni, and I can't believe I'm saying that because Ryan's life actually has turned around. He's much more comfortable wearing his clothing. It's actually loose on him. Now he can fit into the clothing that he thought he would never fit in again. I'm very happy for Ryan. So do yourself the biggest favor in the world and take your health seriously. Call Dr. Jason over at Custom Health Centers, 844-789-8446, and get your life changed today. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. Fish, how was your weekend, buddy?
Oh, it was great. Fun. I watched tennis last night, yesterday, Friday. I watched American football. I watched the NFL playoffs. Most of them were decent games. That Cowboys one was interesting. I mean, the kicker missed a couple kicks again. They had a chance to win the game. They choked it away.
They didn't choke it away.
I mean, they had chances to win that game.
The 49ers were the best team.
They were, but they had chances to win that game.
And I had a chance to be a woman, but here I am. I'm a man. What do you know?
You watched that game. You told me the Cowboys didn't have a chance to win that game?
No, they never had a chance.
They had a chance.
They never had a chance. They had a chance for the mere fact that they were on the field. That's it. The 49ers were so in control of that game. It wasn't even funny.
Scoreboard. Did you not see the scoreboard?
Yeah, they only won by 7.
Yeah.
And they covered the spread by double of what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Well, I'm just saying the Cowboys had a chance to win that game. The Giants did not have a chance. They got murdered. The Eagles.
I'm with you. I get what you're saying. Especially you see the Cowboys, they get all the way in the red zone, and it's 4th and goal, and they choose to kick a field goal. It is what it is. The Cowboys, they are what we thought they were, frauds.
Yeah.
At their highest peak, they're a great football team, but when they're playing like they did against the 49ers, but the 49ers have a great defense. That's why that game looks so ugly. You have two teams, great defenses. Even the Cowboys defense, I thought they played well for the most part. But Brock Purdy, to me, we could talk about he pretty much outplayed Dak. That was clear as day.
Not pretty much. He clearly did.
Yeah, and Brock Purdy, to me, man, he was impressive. He looked very super poised.
I will say, we talk about Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
5 straight AFC title appearances. It's all great. And this is not to discredit Mahomes. But I think you can legitimately have a conversation this morning whether you'd want to start your franchise with Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. I don't think Mahomes is a tier above Burrow. I think they are exactly the same quarterback. They are the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I think the drop-off is a pretty significant gap between 2 and 3. Joe Burrow, 27-10, leads his team to consecutive AFC title games, his 2nd and his 3rd season. His rookie year, by the way, he tore his ACL, so that didn't even count. So the 2 full seasons he's played in the NFL, he's been to 2 AFC title games. Patrick Mahomes, 5 consecutive AFC title games. He's been phenomenal since he's been in the league. There's nothing more I can say about these 2 quarterbacks.
Right.
There's nothing more I can say outside of I think we need to be having a better, I would say a more serious conversation about Joe Burrow and just how good he is. I'm not seeing, Justin Herbert, it's just talent. Josh Allen, it's talent. This guy has it all. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected. When he throws the football, there's a level of confidence and also composure that goes into how Joe Burrow plays, and I think he's arguably the best quarterback in the NFL right now. You want to make the case for Mahomes, I think that's your guys' right. I have no problem with that. I won't call any of you crazy, but Joe Burrow is playing at a level of football maybe only you could probably only make the case for Patrick Mahomes. That's it. Yeah. Nobody else.
And the crazy thing about Mahomes is he's the mobility is what takes him over the top. But even if he hurts his ankle like he did against the Jaguars, even him having to sit in the pocket, he's one of the best. He is the best quarterback in the pocket. So I think that's where Mahomes kind of differs. But they're in the same tier. I agree with you. Joe Burrow in 2 seasons or 3 seasons, one of them tore his ACL, but 2 full seasons, back-to-back AFC Championship games. Mahomes has more accolades. We'll see what Burrow can do over the next couple of years, but still, I would agree. I think they're in the same tier. I'd still give Mahomes the best quarterback because he has the track record. He has more of a bigger resume to look at. But Burrow, man, he's special. And the fact that they had such a great game plan. All the injuries to their offensive line, get the ball out quick. The average throw time was 1.8 seconds or something like that. Great game plan going into it. And Joe Burrow, man, looks super poised. He really did.
I like to look at players' careers in a vacuum. I've got 2 full seasons of Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
And in Cincinnati, in the Midwest, in Ohio, he turned a franchise that went from Marvin Lewis to a complete disaster to they had the number 1 overall pick when they took him. He tore his ACL, and within 24 months, they were in the Super Bowl. And now back in the AFC title game for a 2nd consecutive year. Not to take anything away from Mahomes, but when he took over, when he was drafted, I should say, the Chiefs were 12-4. They had top 10 defenses. He walked into, I want to say the last year they were 10-6. That Alex Smith started, and then he took over, obviously 50 touchdowns, MVP. Holy shit, it was all crazy. Oh my God, I get it. But does anybody talk about Zach Taylor like they do Andy Reid? Obviously not. Andy Reid's accomplished. Rightfully so. He's one of the greatest coaches ever in NFL history. But Joe Burrow's winning with a young team. He's the best player on that team. He's the leader of that team. And he's doing it with a coach, Zach Taylor, that many thought should have been ran out of town after his first year with Joe Burrow at quarterback when he tore his ACL. So again, not to discredit anybody this morning, I think the two best teams in the AFC clearly are in the championship game. I think the two most deserving teams are in the championship game. I can't wait to watch.
And I'm going to be honest, I had the Chiefs and the 49ers in the Super Bowl, but after Mahomes being banged up, I mean, Travis Kelce was that entire offense, pretty much. 14 catches. I mean, he's incredible. He's making an argument. He's going to end up as the best tight end of all time, but still, it doesn't change the fact the Bengals right now are the better team. So I know it's technically, it's going to Arrowhead, but at the same time, Bengals to me look like the better team, and they're more healthy right now. We'll see. We'll see what that ankle injury does for Mahomes, but Bengals look like they're going to another Super Bowl, but we'll see.
Yeah,
and if you beat Mahomes back-to-back at Arrowhead, I mean, what are we doing here? I mean,
talk about a resume builder.
In the playoffs? Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah, look, the Bengals are legit, man. I got to say, when I watch the Bengals do what they did to the Bills, it's a serious reminder of how important it is to play team football. Josh Allen running all over the field, trying to make things happen, trying to establish the run game. Doesn't work. What do we always say about running the ball? Right? Everybody says you don't need a top-tier running back. That's true. But you need to run the ball situationally and effectively. And what does that mean? Well, on first down, you should be able to run the ball effectively for 4 or 5 yards and set up a second and median. On third and short, you should be able to pound your way through. Hell, even on fourth and short, you should be able to get the yard, half inch, I don't know, however many yards you need. You just got to run situationally. And what the Bengals do, they did everything right situationally. What the Bills do, they fumbled everything. Too reliant on Josh Allen. And look, you can point to the Bengals and say, well, they got T. Higgins, and they got Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd, and Joe Mixon. But the Bengals are more than that. Their defense actually is very, very good. Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, Daxton Hill. You've got Jesse Bates.
Yep, Jesse Bates.
Unbelievable. And they've acquired talent. They're young. They're not going anywhere. Something we say about the Lions. But what's the key difference here? Obviously, way more stars in Cincinnati, but they also have the quarterback. Mm-hmm. That to me is the one that's controlling all of this.
Yeah,
he's unbelievable, man. You watched some serious high-level quarterback play over the weekend. I hope you all know that. And there's a clear difference. You go to the wild card round, go look at Herbert, go look at even Lawrence. You go look at all these guys and how they played. And then go to the divisional round. And go look how Mahomes played. And Joe Burrow played. And Jalen Hurts played. It's pretty fucking elite.
Mm-hmm. Brock
Purdy, I don't know what to say about him, to be honest with you. I really don't.
I think he's good for their system.
It's magical what Kyle is able to do with anybody at quarterback. It's unbelievable. But we'll get to Kyle Shanahan in a bit. And the last point I want to make about Joe Burrow before we move on is this is why you sell your soul, you trade everything away. This is why you are willing to do any and everything to get a quarterback. When you select a quarterback number 1 overall, Joe Burrow is what you want them to be. That's the whole intent. Now, I can't guarantee you that if you take Bryce Young, if you take Will Levis, if you take any of these guys upcoming, I can't guarantee anything. If it was easy to draft a quarterback, everybody would fucking have one. I hope you all are aware of that. Cool? Great. Moving on. So when we talk about in Detroit or anywhere else, the idea of a team trading up, trading back, waiting a year, the idea of drafting a quarterback is that. Now, is Joe Burrow going to end up being one of the 7, 8 best quarterbacks in NFL history? Who knows? Promising start to his career. But you know what? I've been alive long enough where I've seen half the league, more than half the league, figure out how to draft a franchise quarterback. And my town figured it out. Detroit had one for 12 years. Now, they didn't do much with it, but that's a whole different conversation. It is doable. You're able to do it, whether it's at 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12. You can figure it out. Hell, picks 24, 22, 32. Depending on your setup, your organization, you can do it. It's very doable. So, What's the takeaway this morning? Don't attack anybody if they have an idea of drafting a quarterback at number 6 overall. Please. Even if you don't agree, which I don't either, by the way. I think it's all defense this year. But can we just shut up on the idea that drafting a quarterback is some asinine claim, or that it's a thought that only the devil would think? Guys, this is why. When you talk to me about Will Levis, even if I don't like them, I don't have to like the prospect. I don't like the idea of Anthony Richardson. I don't like any of it. But when you sell me on that, yeah, I get it. I get taking a quarterback. I would too. No shit.
But I get it.
I just don't like the ones that are available. That's the problem.
Yeah.
See where I'm going with this?
I do, but at the same time, we've always talked about this. If you pick a quarterback, what does that do to the GM?
What does that do? Puts him on the timer, right?
There you go.
Turns that little clock on.
Even though you understand the reasoning behind it, there's always going to be like
it's justified though,
right?
And
but 49ers, for example,
pressure.
You take Trey Lance, you're winning with Brock Purdy. I mean, are we just going to be like, well, they try? No, listen. What are we doing here? We'll see if they trade Trey Lance. We'll see what his future looks like. But I think if you're going to take a quarterback, if it's Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, these guys are number 1 overall picks. I get what you're saying. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. If you could identify talent
Justin
that
Herbert.
You can develop, Herbert, I get it. But you better hope those guys, the guy you're drafting is going to be elite or at least trending that way. Because if he's not, your ass is on the hot seat. I mean, that's the reality.
Is it though? Because John Lynch isn't.
But
John Lynch isn't.
But if you have Zach Wilson, if you have Zach Wilson on your resume, is that not a stain?
Yeah, well, that's a
and
team...
does that not set your team back?
No, see, I don't hate the Zach Wilson thing. I don't. I'll tell you why.
Okay, tell me.
You are one of the worst teams in football. You have no identity, new coach, and you're looking to draft your franchise guy. Now, you fell in love with the idea of Zach Wilson. It didn't work out. So that's I don't get as upset when GMs miss on a quarterback. Unless it's a Malik Willis at number 2 talk, right?
But what if they understood the reasoning behind it?
What do you mean?
What if you just said earlier? I can get if there's reasoning. What if Brad Holmes thought Malik Willis could be one of the better quarterbacks in the league and he drafted him?
That would have been so unacceptable. See, to me,
so
when we talk about about Will Levis or Bryce Young or
right.
C.J. Stroud, guys that are going to be taken in the top 7, top 8, we'll see where they go. That makes sense. Now you can go back and I'm only going to be able to play the hindsight game because I can only tell you what I believed throughout most of my life.
Okay.
Is that there's certain qualities about quarterbacks that just work. Adversity. Mm-hmm. How do you overcome adversity? A lot of these guys can't. Zach Wilson can't.
So if Brad
Trey Lance right now, we don't know yet. We don't know.
Right.
But if Brad Holmes takes a chance on a quarterback this year and it doesn't work out,
you're going to be fine.
It's not the end of the world. Has he not built up his resume?
It's not going to be the end of the world, but it will set. If you take Anthony Richardson back, let's say you take Anthony Richardson at 6. Let's have some fun, and he does not work out. Even though we've said Anthony Richardson, not a huge fan.
That's different because I disagree with Richardson. I think it's horrible to take him at 6. That to me is horrible. The player I don't like.
So it's got to be a player you like.
It's got to be a player that you can at least sell me on. You can't sell me on Willis at 2. You couldn't sell me on Hamilton at 2. You can't sell me on Richardson at 6. That's why. So that's for us to have a conversation about. Let's leave it alone.
Okay, I'm gonna get you because
we'll get back to it. Fair?
Let's do it. We'll I got some questions for you. Okay,
when we get back, Kyle Shanahan delivers again. He becomes the first head coach in the NFC to reach 3 NFC title games in a 4-year span since Jim Harbaugh, Michigan head coach currently, and he did it with the San Francisco 49ers. Must be nice, San Francisco. Must be nice. We'll get to Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, their 5th straight AFC title game, that and so much more coming up. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Boy.
Let me tell you about them, guys. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You can try the classic meatloaf or chicken Alfredo. But how about the breakfast as well? They got the stuffed potato pancakes, the lumberjack, Santa Fe Garden, or Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full-line merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. You can join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations and more on the way.
Chili Peppers Tan?
All right. Look, you know what? We all have our man crushes in life, or women crushes. I mean, whatever you guys prefer. I have a big man crush on Kyle Shanahan. I can't hold it in anymore. I just can't. From being told he was overrated going into this season because he had a losing record.
Wait, what?
You don't remember this conversation?
I know, that's almost... whoever said that.
You know who they are.
Hey, I saw your tweet. There were people saying he was overrated last night.
He was overrated?
What I want to get across today, I don't want to focus on the trolls or the idiots.
Because people expect
I want to
winning.
focus on real accomplishments, okay? And the reason I want to do this is because here in Detroit, we really haven't had any of that, okay? Especially with the NFL team. The Lions haven't given us a 3-4 year period like this, an 8-10 year period like this.
They will soon, just wait.
I hope so. I hope so. And I'm rooting for that, Fish. And that's actually why I'm bringing this up. Because I really want us to start understanding what success really looks like. You know, some of us, you know, when Josh Allen loses last night, he's so quick to write him off. Oh, yeah, I knew Josh. He's trying to do too much. You can't win with Josh Allen. He needs a running game. He needs everything to be right. I get it. I get it. Oh, the Bills, they always choke. The Cowboys, they always choke. Look, I can't predict the future. Okay, Jeff? I can't. What I can do is observe and tell you what I think is going to happen, but let's play out a scenario. The Chiefs have the Chiefs have gotten to 5 straight AFC title games.
Unbelievable.
The Niners, 3 NFC title games in the last 4 seasons. Unbelievable. Okay. There is going to become... How do I say this? There's going to come a point where the Detroit Lions, hopefully, are really successful. And in that first year of success, you're just happy to be there. It's like Michigan, right? You're just happy to get to the playoff. And then the second year, it's, well, now there's a little expectation. Oh, now we're disappointed. See, the Niners are disappointed even though they're so successful because they haven't won the Super Bowl yet. But that's their expectation. And that's why I always say start at the division. Because when you win your division, Jeff, you've proven to me you're consistently one of the better teams in your conference.
Right.
All right, and now you take the next step. Go win a playoff game. Go win 2 and get to a title game, dare I say. And now repeat that success, relatively, for a 4 or 5 year span. And if you can do that consistently, and I'm not saying every year get to a title game. I think what the Chiefs are doing is historic, ridiculous. But if you can get to 2 in 5 years, that is hyper success to me. I think we just get so caught up in the moment sometimes. The Bills have gotten to a title game. Does that mean they're frauds? Or that they don't know how to win? Or that they can't get over? Andy Reid, it took him 20 years to win his first Super Bowl. Andy Reid, one of the greatest coaches ever. 20 years to win a Super Bowl. What is our definition of success? So I hope as the playoffs continue and we watch these beautiful title games next week, that you really look ahead to what the Detroit Lions hopefully can and will do, and understand that there are going to be bumps in the road. And that now that you have something to hold on to and move forward with, I think it's fair to say, hey, you know what? Win a division. Win a playoff game. Lose a heartbreaker. Lose in the NFC title game. Lose for a second consecutive year maybe in the future. But is that a failure? I don't think so. If the Niners lose to the Eagles, is that a failure to win 11 straight games, 7 of which with Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant in the 2022 NFL Draft? Is that a failure? Is it a failure for the Eagles to be the number 1 seed? Win a playoff game for the first time under Nick Sirianni. Get to the NFC title game and lose to the San Francisco 49ers?
I think it'd be disappointing.
Disappointing? But is it a failure?
I wouldn't say it's a failure.
If the Bengals get to a second consecutive Super Bowl, is it a failure for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid?
Well,
disappointing.
Yes, but you could also argue for the Eagles, for a lot of those players, you might not be able to retain them.
Maybe not.
So
maybe not.
In terms of big picture, it is a failure.
Big picture, there's one team that wins it every year.
You're right. So
no
technically,
matter
every other team
everybody else
season's a
is always
failure.
Yes. So that's why context really matters,
Right.
man.
Yeah,
and
right.
I think that's what made me really happy this morning is I really woke up. I was like, man.
You were actually happy this morning?
Before I got here and worked with you, yes, I
know.
was. I woke up, and my biggest takeaway this morning, Jeff, was, you know what? You know, hopefully the Lions do have this type of success, but when they do, which sports town are we going to be? The one that understands where they're at and what they could be? Or the one that is quick to judge, quick to panic, and say it's a failure? Los Angeles, the Chargers, are they a failure?
I think so. I really do. I mean, we made this argument for Michigan as well. Like, if Michigan did not at least get to or win the Natty,
was their first year
that's
in the
a
playoffs
failure
for the Chargers.
Right.
Okay? And I like Brandon Staley. I do. He makes it very difficult to defend him at times. He really does. Some of the really stupid decisions.
True.
But didn't they show progress? But they should do more with their talent, right? It's easy to say that in the AFC. Now, should they have beaten a secondary
up
like
27-0?
I agree. I agree. And they got a life lesson.
They did.
But again, if they go to the playoffs next year and they win a playoff game, do you really care what happened this past year? And if they don't make the playoffs, well, then you know what to do. You fire your coach.
There you go.
Right? So everything in the world always comes full circle.
Yeah.
There's no hiding from anything. Dan Campbell, for example, 3-13-1. A 1-6 start. You can't hide from that. You can only move forward. And he did. 8-2.
Mm-hmm.
Promising. Exciting football. One of the best teams in the NFL, you could argue, during that 10-week stretch. You can't hide from that fact. Just like you can't hide from the fact that if the Lions go out and win 6 games next year, you're all going to be disappointed. It's a fact. You can't hide from it. Just like if they go out and win 11, 12 games, you're going to be very happy. They're likely division champions, and we're having a completely different conversation. Everything always plays out in the NFL, Jeff. That's the beautiful part.
Yeah. No, and I think overall, there's different ways to rise to success, right? Like the Bengals, for example, you get Joe Burrow, you get Jamar Chase, boom, AFC title game. Not every team has that, roller coaster rising up of success where you kind of take those baby steps. I mean, who knows? The Lions next season, you could go from not making the playoffs to winning a playoff game and maybe trying to make a deep playoff run. I mean, things are very, very odd in the NFL. It's why it's the best sport on planet Earth, in my opinion, but specifically in the U.S. And to your point about seasons being a failure, I'll ask you from someone, we talk about the Lions. Imagine if the Lions had, this year you miss the playoffs, next season you make the playoffs, you lose a playoff game. what would you expect the following year from that same team that lost the playoff game? Let's say next season they make it, they lose. What would be your expectation the following year?
To win a playoff game.
Right. You want that.
Yeah, it's always progressional. Now, there are teams, like the Bengals, for example, last year. They come out of left fucking field.
Right.
Blindside you. Not only they win the division, but they win a playoff game, and then two, and then get to the Super Bowl. Oh, what the... Unprecedented. You don't expect that.
Right.
I can't expect the anomaly to happen with my football team. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Now, can I pray for it without telling you guys? Maybe. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that on the side. No problem. Nobody has to know about my personal shit. But the reality is, it typically is a 2, 3, 4, 5 year journey before you even get to sniff a title game. So how good are you going to be? We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited. We'll take a break. When we get back, this is what I've been waiting for all show. All weekend, really, after the Giants-Eagles game, but especially after the Cowboys-Niners game, this conversation to me, the next half hour on the show, might be some of the best sports talk I think we'll ever do. Honest to God.
High expectations.
I'm putting extreme high expectations on this. I feel really good about this.
That's how you grow
So when we get back, tiered quarterbacks, the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, along what it means with Jared Goff, what it means for the Lions, and what the state of the NFC quarterback future looks like after Dak Prescott shit the bed. That conversation's coming up in a second, but before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Swiss Insurance.
Let me tell you about them. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Many businesses choose a January 1st effective date, but Swiss Insurance can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give them a shot and you won't be disappointed. Contact Mark at SwissINS.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com. as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, you've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
All right, let me tell you about my friends over at Bedrock Detroit. They bring you the Monroe Street Midway, and it's decked out all winter long with winter bumper cars, indoor arcades, puck putt, food and drinks, you name it, they've got it. Shop, eat, and play all winter long. Downtown Detroit, the Monroe Street Midway. Whew. Thanks to our good friends over at Bedrock Detroit. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show.
Hey, if you don't go, me and Stick are going to go, so...
Good.
Okay.
Go fuck yourself while you're at it.
I will not be doing that, but I
right.
appreciate the kind words, I guess.
You got it, buddy. I'm just here to support you.
Appreciate it.
Buddy, did you like the Maz emoji or emo? I keep confusing them.
Did I like it?
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to spam it in the chat right now.
Go for it.
Maz's face is the best. It's one of my favorite ones, so I will let it launch early. But anyways, moving on. Top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Yes. So, call me crazy, but I'm just going to give you tiers. All right? I'm not going to give you any specific order.
I would do the same.
Okay? But I'm going to tell you the 10 quarterbacks I think belong in the conversation, but you and I need to agree on the first 4.
Okay.
Because I think these 4 are untradeable, untouchable. They are not allowed to get any criticism from myself or you or anybody else in the world. These are the 4 best quarterbacks in the NFL, and none of you will be able to change my mind. Now, there is one quarterback who on Sunday could change my mind. And I want to give him his credit because I didn't think it would work out with Jalen Hurts. I was totally wrong about him. So I want to give him the respect he deserves, but to me, he's in tier 2. He's not in tier 1. And the 4 quarterbacks that are unbelievable, exceptional, can't touch: Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence. Take a guess.
I mean, there's 2 left that are untouchable.
Go for it.
But you only have one name.
Have one name. I'm going to let you take a swing at it.
Josh Allen.
I was
going to say Justin
It is
Herbert
not Justin Herbert.
gets squeezed out of there.
Justin Herbert gets pushed aside in tier 2 because I see the potential.
Yeah, because he ain't getting traded.
But you don't throw the ball 22 times in the second half and not make one big-time play for your team. I don't care what the coaching was. I don't care about that. Against that Jacksonville secondary. No excuse. No excuse. Those are the 4 untouchable, clear-cut best quarterbacks in the NFL. And there's a significant gap to me. And then there's the Jalen Hurts. And then the Justin Herbert. But then who? That's 6. Then who is my question to all of you? And you guys know where I'm going with this. Dak Prescott? Fuck no. Kirk Cousins? Nope. Kyler Murray? Nah, I'll pass. Lamar Jackson? You guys know how I feel about him? Does he deserve to be called a top 10, top 11 quarterback? Sure. But for me, 7. Who's the next tier 2 quarterback? Or are there any? This is where my list gets a bit crazy. Because I think Herbert, Allen, Mahomes, Lawrence, that's tier 1. Nobody's touching him.
So, in
tier 2.
Okay, go on.
It gets better.
I'm going to let you go because
tier 2.
I got to pick this apart.
Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, uber potential. Uber potential. You want to throw Lamar in there? I wouldn't hate it, but I'm not putting him there. I'm just not. I'm not a fan of Lamar.
Okay.
So, that's my tier 2, and that's it.
Okay.
So, who falls into tier 3? Jared Goff. Dak Prescott. Kirk Cousins. Kyler Murray. Lamar Jackson. Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers. You can delve up this list. But I think the closest guy to tier 2 right now, the way they're playing in the NFL, is Jared Goff.
So, by the way, you still haven't mentioned Lamar yet.
I'm not a fan of Lamar.
So
I mentioned him in tier 3. I did.
So you're putting him with Kirk,
yes.
Jared.
I don't think much of Lamar. I don't.
Okay.
And maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I don't think I am.
I think you are.
But maybe I am.
I think you are.
Maybe I am. I don't think I am, though.
Okay,
I don't.
Okay.
I see a guy who, when he gets paid...
Which of those guys in that tier 3 have an MVP award? Can you tell me? Because I'm kind of blanking. I can't remember.
Well, I'm not going to use Aaron Rodgers because he's useless. He's retiring. I'm not going to use Tom Brady. He's useless. He's retiring. I don't even consider them, to be honest, because they're aging. I can't, but can you name me a quarterback in that list with a playoff win?
On what, tier 3? You said tier 3?
Yeah.
I mean, you had Goff.
Goff. Go for it. Lamar has one.
Dak has one.
I believe Lamar has one.
Lamar has a playoff win. There you go.
Very, very small few, right?
But I don't mean to, because now.
Are you going off talent here?
No, I'm going off resume. I'm a big resume guy. Right?
Resume.
That's huge to me. Like Trevor Lawrence, for example, 1 season, plays well.
Yep.
Good coaching, makes a little playoff run. He's already in tier 1 for you.
Yep.
So I love that. Herbert with 3 years of 30 touchdowns a game per season, questionable coaching, and he gets eliminated.
What do they do primarily?
They throw the football. Yeah.
What does your quarterback do primarily?
What do you mean?
What does your quarterback do
primarily? Typically a quarterback?
No. Your quarterback that we're talking about, Lamar Jackson. What does he do primarily?
He runs the football. But
you see the problem
he
here?
Still had
it's just my look. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Listen, okay.
Hear me out.
All right.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Right.
Lamar's a special talent,
we've seen 36 and 7.
He's a special fucking talent, dude. I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to say that he doesn't need more help because I think the Ravens have done a horrible job drafting quarterbacks, or wide receivers.
Right.
But what does he do primarily? He fucking runs. He runs. And what happens when I take your legs away? He's a pedestrian passer of the football. Jared Goff, to me, I would prefer Goff over Lamar for the next 3-4 years, especially if I have to pay them. I'm paying Jared Goff $30 million right now.
Hey, I get what you're saying, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Lamar, even in his small sample size, has a higher.
It was 3 years ago. Does he?
This season, listen, has a higher QBR than your boy, Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor's top 15 and Lamar's
injured.
9th. Yeah, I know, but in that small sample size, still played well. 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. With no talent. I mean, name me. Rashad Bateman is the big wide receiver for them. I mean, come on here. In the season which he won MVP, 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he's tier 3. He's an MVP winner. Come on, what are we doing here? Just because you don't prefer him. Like, the talent's a talent.
Let me identify. Okay, let me explain more because clearly I'm not getting to you right now. All right, and I don't mind. You can disagree. It's fine.
Okay,
but hear me out. My tier 1 quarterbacks are the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'm not saying
for
Lamar's
now
tier
and the
1.
future.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's
These
in tier
are
1.
the untouchables. These are, you could start a fucking franchise with them. You can start your franchise with Mahomes, Burrow, Trevor Lawrence. Took the worst team in the NFL, won his division, won a playoff game. First go at it. Had the highest passer rating jump by a quarterback from his first year to his second year in NFL history.
I mean,
throw in Evan Ingram.
I hope so.
Evan Ingram, Marvin Jones,
got a 39
and Christian
QBR.
Kirk.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
we're talking about special talent at tier 1. Now, you want to throw Lamar at 2? I think you're living in the past a little bit. I think you still have Cincinnati where he pulled off that spin move and took it to the house. I think you're thinking too much of what he was. He hasn't been the same since. And he's had a lower completion percentage. He's been throwing more interceptions since. He was on pace to throw 14 interceptions this year. Like, I'm not a fan. And do I think he needs more support? Yes, I do. I'm not going to be unfair to the guy.
And it's crazy because he's still winning games. Like, he's a winner. I mean, look at his career record. This season, they were in first place to win the division until he got hurt, and then they lost it. Even with that group of wide receivers, love Mark Andrews, great tight end, but still, the point I'm making is Lamar Jackson, to me, he's in that tier 2. I'll read you my tier 1, and we'll just have a conversation. So my tier 1 is Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and I'm going to go Herbert. I like Lawrence, and I think if you want to take one season and say he's tier 1,
how is Herbert over Lawrence? How?
Because if you want to go off, well, Trevor Lawrence this year won a playoff game.
I'm not going off playoff games.
Okay, I'm going Herbert then. If you're not going off playoff success, I mean,
that to me
so
is irrelevant.
If we're talking sample size, you'd rather have a guy. Okay, Trevor Lawrence. This is not a knock, but I'm saying what it is. Trevor Lawrence this season, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, had a good year. But we're just going to completely ball up all 3 of Herbert's fantastic past 3 seasons, just throw it in the trash. Because of what he did in the postseason. Because he's had Staley and Mike Lombardi.
He's had a phenomenal defense in terms of talent. He's had exceptional weapons, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. Look, I love Justin Herbert.
And he's put up the numbers with it. Like he's produced.
He's a guy I would love to start my franchise with. No problem at all. But when you talk to me about guys that I can give the keys to, and I have no doubts right now. I have no doubts about any of the 4 I named. Mm-hmm. Has Herbert won a big game yet?
So now we're going off.
No.
So
I'm asking. I'm not only that. There's much more to it.
Yeah.
But has he won a big game?
And Joe Lombardi.
Has he been able to secure fourth quarter leads against the Kansas City Chiefs, for example? No, he hasn't. He's blown multiple. Here's how I feel about Herbert. I just need to see it. I believe it.
Yeah,
I think he's exceptional. And you know what? I don't mind that you have him in your tier 1 because I think he's fucking special. Having said that, I need to see it. With Lawrence, I do believe I've seen it. I just do. And that's why it's your list and it's my list. I don't mind.
Yeah, right.
I really don't.
The big problem I have is I can't believe Lamar's in your tier 3. That's like the biggest shock
because
to me.
I mean, how I feel about Lamar, though.
Who would you start your franchise with, Kirk Cousins or Lamar?
Lamar.
Who would you start your franchise with right now, Jared Goff or Lamar Jackson?
Jared Goff.
Okay. I guess we have to see. If you have a team that's unbelievably stacked from top to bottom, I could see that because.
Well, clearly I need that for Lamar because he can't do less. I mean, he do more with less either.
He was first in the division with that offense. But take away Mark Andrews, what do they have?
Really forget that they had a top 5 defense for the first 10 games.
I said that.
Season.
Hear me out. That offense
with Mark Andrews. The offense is built around what? What is the offense built around, Jeff?
Their tight end and the run game.
No.
And the run game.
But they are. He's primarily.
So we're just going to discredit.
I'm not discrediting.
Okay.
This is the problem I have. Now, can you point out and tell me that he's phenomenal? He's exceptional. He's uber talented. He's an MVP. You can tell me all that, but I fucking close the door on any quarterback when you tell me they're primarily a runner. I can't do it. Because I could make the case. Who has more talent, Jeff? Lamar Jackson or Trevor Lawrence? More talent.
Lamar.
Oh. Who has more talent? Lamar or Joe Burrow? Talent. What the fuck is talent?
Yeah,
I need you to stand in the pocket and win me a football.
Well, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, if we're talking about skill set, Lamar's
he
much more athletic.
But Lamar is at a different tier in terms of special, how he can move, his athleticism.
Yeah.
But when I take that away, what is Lamar Jackson?
I mean,
that's my problem.
I just don't.
So how do you want me to answer that?
I just don't like saying if I take that away because he has it. That's Lamar Jackson.
He has it, and then he hurt his knee this year. And then how often is that going to start building now? And you're already seeing it with Justin Fields. You guys are so naive to this. Who's in the title game this year? Fuck. Let's go last year. Who was in the AFC and NFC title game? Matthew Stafford, Jimmy Garoppolo, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. This year, Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Now, Jalen Hurts, you want to make the case to me, well, I don't know. He runs the football. Yeah, but not really. Not like Lamar. Jalen Hurts primarily throws the football. Now, can he run? Yes, he can. Can he run like Josh Allen can run? Yes, he can. He's exceptional at it. But that is not his primary. Throwing to Goddard, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith is his primary.
So you're going to discredit... and again, if you want to go off playoff success, that's fine. But you say, well, Hurts throwing to Goddard, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, but then with Herbert, it's, well, he has Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen.
No, but I have him in the same fucking class as Herbert. I have him in the same class. You can't say that.
I know, but you see what you're going with here.
I'm
like
not
Lamar,
going anywhere.
Like Lamar, am I not allowed to look at the weapons he has currently with the Ravens and say, you know what? If he had a big-time wide receiver, I get Mark Andrews is great, but someone on the outside...
He hasn't finished a full season in 3 years. He hasn't finished a full season in 3 years, Jeff. The last two, notably, he's been injured.
Big reason why you don't have him in there is because of health as well. Which is it?
Because he's primarily a runner. Yes, I want my quarterback to stand in the pocket, dude.
Okay, that's the point you're making.
It's my list for a fucking reason.
All right, that's fine.
If you guys like Lamar, you can go suck him off and bring him to your football team.
All right.
But I'm taking all the quarterbacks I just named, including Jalen Hurts, including Jared Goff, over him. For a fucking reason.
I just had to make sure. I had to make sure what was the reason. Was it so? It's injury related.
Of course.
It's not.
It's the same reason why Justin Fields is not a fucking franchise quarterback. How many times did he get hurt this year? You really think that's gonna last? Even if you improve the offensive line, even if you gave him Jamar Chase won't be as good with Justin Fields as his quarterback.
Do you ever take into account that? I get why you're saying Fields and the health and he's running as much as he is, but don't you take into account the weapons he has or the offensive line he has? Like, don't you think these guys like Justin Fields, they have to run because they literally have to run? Like, that's
last
the
I
offense.
checked, the Bears had success when he was primarily running the football with read options
because that was,
and RPOs.
Right.
Because he's a runner before he's a passer.
That was the best case.
And that's a problem. I'm not saying you can't win with it. Well, Tim Tebow won games in the NFL, bro.
They have to do it that way.
Lamar,
how the Bears' offense is with their personnel. That's their offense.
Okay, well now you what you're saying gets to play out because the Ravens have to pay Lamar, and let's see what they look like when they have to pay him. Because you know what he has to do now? He has to protect himself because all the money's on him. So if he's not there, they're gonna suck. So all the money's on him. Can he step back in the pocket, stay healthy, and throw the football? Does he need better receivers? He absolutely does. I agree. But miss me with the idea that I wouldn't take a pocket passer over Lamar Jackson any day of the week. Any day of the week. Now, Dak? No. Kirk? No. I mean, there's a line we got to draw. But Lamar's a top 10. But for me, I have Goff higher.
All right.
But top 10 doesn't mean shit. It doesn't. What does it mean? Russell Wilson was a top 10 quarterback going into this NFL season. What does that mean? It means nothing. The guy's been injured the last 2 years. That's a problem for me. And now I have to pay you? Fuck.
So, we'll end it with this. Is Lamar Jackson a franchise quarterback?
No.
Okay. That's all.
Key ingredient for me.
Okay.
It's only for me. All right. Franchise quarterback, longevity. You have to be durable. You have to be durable. I'm not saying you can't be injured. All quarterbacks are hurt. It's normal. No problem. Patrick Mahomes has hurt himself a few times. No problem. Kneecap. Now the ankle. No problem.
Yeah, that.
Longevity. When I take Lamar Jackson's athleticism away from him, what is he? A top 14 passer, maybe? Yeah, I'll pass on that. Thank you.
I'll take the unanimous MVP. He's a franchise quarterback. But we agree to disagree. It's okay.
He was an MVP. It was 3 seasons ago, dude.
And that's when he had weapons.
Like me saying, I got fucked. I got laid for the first time 3 years ago, guys. I'm going to hold that W up on the board.
Yeah, no,
now.
I mean, you're right. I mean, he fouled that 36 touchdown, 6 interception season with another 26-9 season.
And then
touchdown
and then
interception
16
ratio.
and 13.
Yep.
And then what? 17-7 this year. He's throwing more interceptions.
Yeah.
He's completing less percentage of his balls.
He was on pace in those 12 games to pretty much do what he did 2 years ago. He had one down season. I mean, are we gonna?
That's fair.
Jared Goff had 20 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. Are we gonna bring that up, or is that in the past? Are we gonna say, well, that was 1 year and you got to use? Come on, we got to use everything. Here.
Okay, then use 2018 and 2019.
There you go. Now we're getting
more of a sample size.
Now we're cooking.
And is Jared Goff injury prone at the moment?
No, because he stands in the pocket. Of course, he's not injury prone.
I don't hate on Lamar. I'm just telling you.
Josh Allen is a mobile quarterback. He doesn't get injured.
Josh Allen is a fucking freak. He doesn't count.
Yes,
you know why?
He could still stand in the pocket and kill you.
Him and Big Ben are just stupid big. They have no business playing quarterback. They should be fucking linebackers, but they are quarterbacks for some reason. Anyways, moving on. When we get back, NFC quarterbacks, where does Jared Goff rank? I'm glad we did this. This was exactly what I expected when I put my list together, to be honest with all of you. Having said that, NFC quarterbacks coming up next. Where does Goff rank?
Oh, yeah.
It's Jalen Hurts and then who? And I'm going to make the case Jared Goff is the second best quarterback in the NFC right now.
You know, as much crap as we just talked, we may agree here.
All right, cool.
You gotta
when
stay
we
tuned.
get back, we'll do that conversation. But before we do, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Planet Fitness. Get to a Planet Fitness near you. Sign up today. $10 a month. Your fitness is essential. Visit them at planetfitness.com or one of their many locations to sign up today. Don't be a fucking lazy ass like Fish and get your ass to the gym.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Make sure you check out the Monroe Street Midway, guys, when you get a chance. Winter bumper cars, puck putt. Fish is apparently going with stick, and I'm not jealous at all because I don't like you, Fish. I don't like you at all. But having said that, we'll move on.
You should be jealous. We'll try to make you jealous. I'll have a pretzel with cheese.
Could you shut the hell up?
No.
Shut the hell up and mute your mic. Now that we're back, and by the way, there is a shut the hell up Fish.
Of course there
is.
And
a shut the fuck up Fish.
As there should be.
That
and those will drop, I think tomorrow actually, not Wednesday. They could be approved in 24 hours, so who knows.
Wow.
But anyways, we talked about quarterbacks in the NFL. Let's get to the NFC. Jalen Hurts the best quarterback in the NFC.
I would agree.
I think before the season started, you could argue Stafford was up there.
Mm-hmm.
And Rodgers and Murray and all these guys. And Dak.
Yeah.
Well, now that the season is played out.
I didn't put Stafford in here because he was injured.
Yep.
That's my...
Well, even going into next year with what he has, I'm not sold on Stafford having the same success he did year one with the Rams. I think that's a complete rebuild, but beyond the point. It's Jalen Hurts and then who? And I'm here to tell you it's not Dak, it's not Kirk, it's not Stafford, it's not Kyler, it's not Aaron, it's not Brady. It's not Fields. It's not Darnold. It's not Purdy. It's Jared Goff. Jared Goff this morning is the second best quarterback in the NFC. Now, Brock Purdy, we called Tom Brady a game manager when he was winning his Super Bowls with New England. This kid goes out, gets to the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl. We might be talking about something special here. But
imagine Goff on the 49ers right now.
But I don't know that yet, right? So I got to work with the information I do have. Mm-hmm. Right now, Jared Goff is the second best quarterback in the NFC, and I don't think anybody can debate it. Jeff?
I'm not debating it. And I think that speaks also to what we were talking about earlier and how stacked the AFC is right now. The NFC, I mean, I have Hurts, you have Goff, and then the rest of the field, I don't care how you categorize it. You could put Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, there's Kyler Murray, Kirk. It doesn't matter to me. But the first two, I would agree. It's Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff. I think Hurts takes the nod because of how impressive this season was, being in the MVP conversation, the Eagles having the success they had in the regular season. I think I take all that into account, but if we're talking about resume, clearly Goff has the better resume. But Jalen Hurts, man, he's up and rising, and he really, I think his mobility gives him the edge, and he takes care of the football. All that stuff comes into play. So I would agree. I don't think you can make an argument for any other quarterback. Like, I think people like to mention Dak Prescott, but after watching, because he had a great game against Tampa, 4 touchdown passes, 1 rushing, and then he fouls it up and stinks against the 49ers. So, again, that's always been Dak's problem, is the inconsistency. So for Goff, as you might be able to say, in past years, he has been inconsistent. The second half of the season, he was very consistent. I mean, he didn't have an interception, and again, finished the year 28 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. But you can't complain about what he was able to do. Top 10 in multiple categories. I agree. I don't think you can make an argument for anybody else over Jared Goff right now. I just don't think you can. Even Brock Purdy, to your point, I get what you're saying, but put Jared Goff on the 49ers right now. Jimmy G had a great year before he was injured. He had 16, 17 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Can we just agree on something? Because I don't want to do this.
What?
I fucking hate the what-if game. And not even the what-if game. I hate the, if you gave this guy X player or Y supporting cast, they would be successful. You don't know until they leave and do it. Stafford, right? All of you dumb fucks last year. You know who you are. Right? People like me saying, when he leaves, he's going to have success. Get ready. Oh, no, he can't even win a division. And then he won the division. Oh, he can't even win a playoff. Won a playoff. Well, he can't get to the NFC Championship. Oh, well, he did. Oh, well, he can't get to the Super Bowl. Oh, well, he did. And, oh, well, he can't win a Super Bowl. Well, he did. Oh, he did. Until you do it, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that Goff steps in. Maybe they lose a few games. You don't know. Brock Purdy may be the perfect system quarterback for college. We don't know. Lamar, you put him on the Bengals. Who knows? Maybe they're really good. Maybe they're picking number 1 overall right now. We don't know.
But I'm looking at type of quarterback. Like, you don't think Jared Goff could run that offense for the 49ers? Like, that's not an offense that you need to be this over-the-top, making plays out of thin air. You got to be accurate.
You got to be a big thinker.
And a big thinker. You don't think, I mean...
I think, again, it makes sense, but it's irrelevant to the conversation.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not even what I'm trying to argue either.
Goff is the second best quarterback in the NFC, and I don't think anybody can disagree with that.
And people that are saying, well, everyone's just gassing up Jared Goff. I mean, tell me, who's better? You want to say Aaron Rodgers? Well, he didn't have a good season. I mean, you could talk about the weapons he has. We're not going to do that. I agree. It is what it is. Check the numbers.
And on top of that, $60 million, you dumb bitch.
And on top of that, too, Jared Goff's 2-0 against him this year. So it's just the numbers. I'm sorry. If you want to say Tom Brady,
who played better than Jared Goff this year in the NFC? Go ahead.
Outside of Jalen Hurts?
No, just list them.
Say nobody.
List them. List the quarterbacks
that played better than Jared Goff in the NFC
this season.
Besides Jalen Hurts, nobody.
That's the fucking point.
Yes, that's the point.
And we talk a lot about the Detroit Lions here. We talk a lot about, oh man, the offense is so good. You guys, there's levels to this game, too. All right, relax. Jared Goff isn't out there working with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Let's relax here. It's a very good offensive line, yes. It's a good run game, sure. But it's just Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brock Wright, James Mitchell, Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds, DJ Chark. Not fucking household names here in Detroit.
Right.
How about we chill a little bit and give more respect to what Goff was doing this year with Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson and this team.
And he had a better year statistically than Kirk Cousins, who has Justin Jefferson, KJ, Adam Thielen, T.J. Hockenson, Irv Smith Jr., Dalvin Cook. What are we doing here?
To me, your situation is what it is. You make the most of it, but you can miss me with the excuses that you give any player. Because it's not as simple as I take Lamar Jackson and I drop him in Kansas City. It's not how it works, guys. It just isn't. It just isn't. And you know who took the chance on Lamar? The Ravens did. And you know who's paying for it right now? The Ravens are.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you want to admit it or not. And you think I hate black quarterbacks? Be my guest. Yeah, I'm a racist.
No.
Go for it. Clip that.
You are not a racist.
Clip it. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
But you're crazy for having Lamar in the tier 3.
You know why?
And saying he's not a franchise quarterback, you're crazy.
Do you? I feel like you want to get.
You are
canceled
He
insane.
doesn't fit the definition to me of a franchise quarterback. You need
Well, I feel
longevity.
like that definition to you, it's pretty subjective, it seems like.
It's not.
I don't think yours is.
It's not.
So
It's not. Now, if Jalen Hurts starts to struggle with injuries and he gets hurt a lot, well, that's a problem.
You're going to put him in tier 3 after that?
No. But right now, he is in tier 2, man. He's
Okay.
earned it.
All right.
He's earned it. And you know what? You go back to Lamar's MVP season, and you would have asked me then, I would have told you he was in tier 2. You know why? No sign of injury, no sign of regression. You know what he did the following 3 years after? Started throwing more picks, started completing less, and started getting injured. You want me to just ignore what's happened?
Why don't you ignore who left him in the wide receiver room? We could talk about that as well.
Wow. Hollywood Brown left. Boy!
All I'm saying, he was there when he won MVP. So I'm not saying he's one of the best wide receivers in the league, but talent's talent. And right now,
talent's talent. Jared Goff is throwing a Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds, and DJ Shark and doing just fine. And Brock Wright. And he started throwing less interceptions when his best tight end actually left. It's just talent.
Mm-hmm. Never will have the accomplishments Lamar Jackson has.
I don't want him to. I'm just
want
talking.
I know.
I can rely on.
And again, this isn't to crap on Goff, but it's more of just making the argument to you that I believe Lamar is a franchise quarterback. Nothing to take away from what Goff has done.
Okay, so
yeah,
let's go through the list. You take them all back to their rookie years. Okay.
Yes.
You go back to year 1. Would you give these guys a 12-year contract? Patrick Mahomes.
Don't do this. Yes.
Oh, bitch! You know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
Justin Herbert.
Yes.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
Joe Burrow.
Yes.
All right. Jared Goff.
No.
Okay, interesting. I like the answer though. Let's say Dak Prescott.
No.
Oh, okay. Kirk Cousins.
No.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Tom Brady.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Peyton Manning.
Yes.
Drew Brees.
Yes.
Okay. Justin Fields.
No.
Michael Vick. Don't you fucking say yes.
No.
Okay.
I think Lamar's the best at all, though, so I would say yes to Lamar.
Oh, so you're going to say yes to Lamar. A 12-year contract.
Because he's
for a primary runner. Check Vick's. Running backs don't even last 6 years in the NFL, and you want to fucking give one a 12-year contract?
Take Lamar's best top 3 seasons, compare it to Vick for me, please. I'll wait. Compare it to Vick for me, because if you're that shocked that I'm picking Lamar over Vick and Fields, you're crazy. Please, look up Vick.
I'm not
you got
shocked
time.
over you picking
You
Vick.
got time. Look it up.
I'm not.
You got time. Michael Vick for me.
Okay, wait.
So a unanimous MVP.
Stop going to something I didn't even argue with you about. Did I argue about Michael Vick? No, I don't care.
You brought up Vick and Fields thinking I should say yes because I'm saying yes to Lamar.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so no and no.
I think you should say no to Vick. I would say no to Vick.
And no to Fields.
I agreed with you on every single player you named up until you got to Lamar. Why? Longevity. 12 years, Jeff? 12 years.
So now,
and he's a primary runner in your words. Where running backs in today's game, they last 6 years at most if they're lucky. Mm-hmm. And you want me to give 12 years to the quarterback who runs primarily, who's only shown me he can have success in an offense where he's a primary runner of the football. What am I doing here? What am I doing?
Did you ask me about Lamar? Because yes, I would give a 12-year contract to Lamar.
You're crazy. You're
Ravens,
crazy.
pay that man.
I think you're crazy.
Pay that man. It's all right. We agree to disagree.
That's fine. What are we going to do? That's the beauty of the show. Can't always agree.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to break. Before we do that, you're going to tell us about our lovely folks at Lobster Truck.
If you interrupt the show one more time, I'm going to have you escorted out of here.
I would appreciate that.
Mute your mic.
That was a great segue. Just saying, 10 out of 10. Just like the sumo over the weekend, too. That's some good stuff. Hey, you guys want sports? Because you guys talk about the football hangover. I got sports. You want some sports similar to football?
No,
I will
please,
give them
just
to
shut
you.
the hell up. Let me tell you about my good friends over at Cousins Maine Lobster. Scan the QR code on the screen. What are you waiting for? Order and treat yourself to an awesome lunch. Clam chowder soup, lobster tacos, lobster tail, lobster main rolls, you name it, they've got it. It's all fresh. It's delicious. Check them out, cousinsmainelobster.com.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Woodward Show live, WoodwardSports.com. As always, Adham, Beydoun, Jeff, Iafrate. Jeff, I love you, buddy. If I had to die doing the show, I would make sure it would be only done with you.
Yeah, agreed.
What about me?
Fish, honestly. Pushing your limits today, buddy.
Fish, we're taking you to the grave with us.
I'm just going to take you to the grave. I'm not taking you with me. I'm just going to put you in one, though.
Okay, I'll hand you this. So it's all yours.
I won't use anything that's ever been seen on camera. I'll make sure I'll hide the weapon. I won't tell you what I'll kill you with. Deal?
I mean...
That way they don't catch me.
Okay.
Just gotta be... I gotta be cautious, right?
I know.
Why is there a bat in that?
His protection.
Well,
Got you.
It's been sitting here. Similar how there was a razor in my booth for like 7 months last year. Just a random razor for 7 months. Just random items. Here, we can do a booth tour. I got these figurines in here. I think they're Jeremy Bryant's. I think he uses these. I don't know.
All right, moving on. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Thank you everybody joining us this morning. Fish, shut the hell up, please. Alex, if you don't mind. Don't look at me like that. So we just spent the last half hour talking about quarterbacks, okay? Mm-hmm. Jeff, let's just clarify. You and I believe Jared Goff going into next year the second best quarterback in the NFC.
In the NFC, I agree.
Okay. Anybody complaining about this? No? Good. Good. Let's take it to the next step. Who has a better roster going into next season? And I'm going to assume Brad Holmes will have major success like he always does in the offseason than the Detroit Lions. Philly? Yeah, I would say Philly. San Francisco? Yeah, I'd agree. I think Dallas has a lot of talent. I do. I think they're being held back by their quarterback and Kellen, not Kellen, excuse me. Yeah, it is Kellen Moore, isn't it?
Yeah, for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kellen Moore.
He sucks.
He does.
He sucks. He blew his opportunity. Pathetic. Having said that, I think there's a lot of talent there. But where do the Lions fall? And yes or no, let's just go quickly through this. I want to hear your opinion on this, okay? Do they have more talent than the Bears do right now? Yes or no?
Oh.
I don't need explanations.
Yes.
Okay. More than the Vikings?
Yes. Maybe not offensively, but overall.
Overall. Are you more confident about their roster moving into next season?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I would.
Packers.
Yes.
These should be, quick.
Yes,
Let's go.
They got guys on defense, though. But
NFC South, Tampa Bay? Are you more confident in the Lions roster?
Yes, because they don't have a quarterback. Yes.
Saints?
Yes.
The Panthers?
Yes.
I'm missing a team in the South. Who am I missing? Falcons?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the East. Dallas? I would say no.
Yeah, no. They have more
Philly?
talent.
I would say no.
No.
Washington?
Yes.
Thank you.
The Giants?
The Giants, obviously yes.
Yes.
No, it's obviously yes.
Yeah, I would
You
say
have
so.
way more talent than the Giants do. Let's go to the NFC West. The Niners? No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Okay, but what about the Rams? Nope. I think you do. I really do.
Okay.
More talent? Absolutely.
I think talent.
I mean, what? Are we talking about star players or overall what the roster looks like?
I mean, either way, I think that the Rams have more talent. But go on. I get where,
okay,
I get where you're going with
disagree
this.
there. That's fine.
I'll get where you're going with
That's
this.
fine. Seattle?
Yes.
Okay. And finally, the Cardinals.
Yes.
Okay, so outside of 4 teams at most, if I give you the Rams, there are 4 teams that have a better roster situation going into next season than the Lions.
It's a good situation.
That's a great situation to be in. Oh, by the way, like we mentioned for weeks now, the roster is here to stay.
Mm-hmm. And can I sprinkle this on top, too? Both
Please
teams,
do.
49ers and Eagles, them being in the NFC Championship game, the thing I took away the most is looking how they dominate the line of scrimmage. Both of these teams, offensive lines, one of the best in the league. Defensive lines, both teams, one of the best in the league. That's how Brad Holmes is currently building this Detroit Lions team. He's building it the right way. You're building in the trenches. You have a young defensive line with a ton of upside. Offensive line, we know how good it is. I would argue it's the best behind Philly. Maybe if you want to throw 49ers in there, okay. But still, let's just say they have a top 3 offensive line. So you're in a class in terms of offensive line with the 49ers and the Eagles. That defensive line, we could talk about potential, especially if you can add somebody this draft upcoming. You could say that this defensive line has at least a ton of upside. Maybe they're not more proven players than the Eagles or the 49ers, but Aiden, Houston, Aleem, hopefully you can sprinkle in there another a good player on the defensive line. We'll see if Brad trades up. But let's just say you get a Jalen Carter, whatever the case may be. There you go. You got your defensive line. Now, in a year or two, as those guys improve, you're going to be in that class of defensive and offensive lines. That's what makes me so proud that Brad Holmes is the GM. He's building it the right way.
I'm saying this.
He really is.
I can't believe I'm saying this. And not only that I am saying it, I'm so fucking happy that I get to say this on the day after the divisional round in the NFL playoffs. I think you're all absolutely wrong about the talent you've evaluated with the Detroit Lions. Like I said it when in week 5 you were 1-4, and I said it's not a talent issue. You have the talent. You didn't believe me. You held Brad Holmes accountable, and now where we're at. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to explain to you. From week 10 to week 15, or excuse me, week 9 to week 15, you had a top 10 defense in the NFL. You had a top 10 scoring defense in the second half of the season. From week 9 to week 15, you led the NFL in pressures, lowest completion percentage allowed to quarterbacks, top 5 in sacks, top 5 in takeaways, you name it. Your defense played at an elite level for a 7-8 week stretch. And you want to tell me that there's no talent, or that the Rams have more talent, or the Cardinals, or the Cowboys. To me, there's 2 teams that are tier 1, you can't fuck with them. The Eagles and the Niners. Moving past that, I think it's open season.
Right.
I really do. The NFC is so wide open, and that's where the Lions fit in. The Lions are going to be able to not only jumpstart, but really leapfrog a lot of teams that were currently in the NFL playoffs, that were just at home. Division winners, teams that won a playoff game like Dallas. You're going to be able to leapfrog them next year. Why? Because your GM is going to bring in more young talent, along with, I would say, a few key free agent signings. And then what? An improved offense going into another offseason where you now add Jameson Williams to the fold, who we expect to be explosive and dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out. Watch the hell out for the Detroit Lions next year. You saw that defense and what they were able to do down the stretch. That wasn't by accident. And you don't win 8 out of 10 games on accident. Just like you don't lose 6 out of 7 on accident. It's supposed to happen. Why? Coaching sucks. Untimely plays. Poor decisions going into half, coming out of half. You name it, they fucked it all up. Pick sixes by your quarterbacks, fumbling the ball, interceptions, you name it, they did it.
Right.
But then they cleaned it up. And they all got better. And then they suddenly started winning. Oh, and then they got really good. I can't wait to watch this team next year.
And
I really can't.
I think that's what's hard for people to digest, too, is because we're kind of projecting what this Lions roster will look like. I know right now they have still a ton of holes. I mean, defensively especially. We can talk about the defensive line, but you can get better at linebacker. You can get better in the secondary. Your safeties, they're probably secure there with Kirby, Elliott, if you re-sign them, and Tracy Walker. But, yeah, there's still work to do. But this is more projecting. With the assets they have in the draft, the money they have for agency, they still got to add a right guard to solidify that spot. There's still some work to do. But once all that's finished, when the season starts later this year, Lions, I agree with you. Going to have one of the better, more potential rosters in the NFC. I mean, you can look at that defensive line and see the potential they have. They still got to go out and do it. So we'll see how it translates, but no doubt. The one thing I took away, like I said, Eagles, 49ers, they're good up front. They're good in the trenches, and that's where the Lions are building towards. So still, Brett Holmes is doing it the right way. We just got to see what this roster kind of looks like and how it's constructed when the offseason is over with, is finished. But we'll see. I like how it's trending. I'm with you.
Oh, man. I love where this is going. I really do. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I think we've learned a lot today. I think we learned a lot about the quarterback position. I think we've learned a lot about where the Lions are going. So, I think next, we should talk about why. Why is this happening? Because I think you guys all remember my sentiments, week 8 of the NFL season? I was very upset. I was done. Sick and tired of the bullshit. 1-6. Couldn't find ways to win. Only found ways to lose. I remember very well what I said.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? Winners of 8 of 10. Didn't happen by accident. Outcoach 3-4 coaches that are currently in the playoffs and have won playoff games. Not bad if you ask me. You have to earn confidence. Confidence isn't given, it's earned. And I think they've earned it. And why there's so much optimism going into next season, I'll justify it coming up next. And I don't think you can unjustify it. I wouldn't call a single Detroit Lions fan going into next season crazy. I won't. Because it is so open in the NFC, and I don't think any of you realize it. And I think you take for granted what a 9-8 football team in the AFC would come do in the NFC. A 9-8, 10-7 football team in the AFC would be 13-4, 12-5 in the NFC.
Drop the Jags in the NFC.
In the North, they win the North.
Well, yeah.
Even though the Lions kick their ass.
But in the NFC in general, like you're right about that. I mean, that's how it is right now.
That's how wide open the NFC is.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's actually a joke. So take advantage of it. When we get back, we'll have the conversation. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Bowling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play, or you can pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 Mr. Beer Machine, full bar. Check it all out, fullingwarehouse.com.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com, as always. Oh, man, this is the best job in the world. It's the best job when things are going right. It's also the best job when things are going wrong, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, either way, you got something to talk about.
It gets a little heated and interesting, but hey, fuck it, you got to live with the good and the bad. Anyways, Brett Holmes, you got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. You got some money to spend in free agency, not a ton, but a bit. And this is why optimism is so high, and I can only speak for myself, but I like to believe I speak for most Detroit people. by saying that the expectation next year is not only to compete, but to win the NFC North. I think that's very feasible. I think it's achievable. And I do believe, from the bottom of my heart, you are going to add a corner in free agency. You're going to add a veteran linebacker in free agency. I do believe you're going to draft a corner as well. I do believe you're going to draft an interior lineman. Now, what round, what pick, I don't know. Do they trade up? Do they trade back? Do they get a quarterback? I don't know. We'll get to all the draft stuff after the playoffs end. But all I know is that I have complete confidence in Brad Holmes to add the pieces necessary to this defense to make it a bit more consistent than what it was last year. Because for the first 7-8 weeks of the season, they were trash. And then for the 8 weeks after, they were amazing. And then they were trash against Carolina. And then they were amazing against Green Bay. So I need some consistency here. And that comes with talent. That comes with experience. Veterans. You're going to get Tracy Walker next year coming back. That'll be a veteran communicator. You're going to have to bring in a guy in the secondary, notably at corner, that can communicate and keep everybody accountable. The secondary, especially the cornerback room, is a disaster. Jeff Okudah has not worked out the way you thought he would, and he's entering his final season. They will not pick up his fifth-year option. That is a fact. You need to address the cornerback position so badly. And whether it's Devin Witherspoon, whether it's my mom, whether it's Broder, whether it's Jeff, I don't care. Just fix it. And I trust Brad Holmes to do that, Jeff. I do. And that's why I'm so optimistic about this team.
Yeah.
Not because, oh, it's the Lions and I want them to do well and it makes me feel good. I don't give a shit. I don't. You know what I care about? Results. You know what I care about? Track record. You know what I care about? Substance. You've shown me that in the draft. You showed me that down the stretch in 8 of your final 10 games. You showed me a top 10 defense for a 7-8 week stretch. You showed me a top 5 offense for an entire NFL season. With a quarterback that many, including myself, doubted going into the season. So why wouldn't I have optimism? Why wouldn't I have confidence? Why? Somebody talk me off the cliff. I don't think you can.
No, I'm not going to talk you off the cliff. I'm going to make you stay on the cliff. And I'll tell you why. The Lions had a stretch of games during the regular season, and you kind of brought this up earlier. But when you beat the Giants on the road, and you take care of business, by the way, hold Saquon to one of his career low in rushing yards, and you pick off Daniel Jones, who hasn't really turned the ball over all year. They did things. They were impressive. They won 31-18. They took care of business. You follow that up Thanksgiving. You play the Bills, a close one at home. You only lose by a field goal. Some decisions in that game weren't a big fan of, but nonetheless, you played the Bills close. You follow that up. You absolutely decimate the Jacksonville Jaguars at home, 40-14. Oh, hold on. Then you follow that up once more and absolutely obliterate the Minnesota Vikings. That 4-game stretch, 4 playoff teams. That's why, and that's why I don't blame anybody for being optimistic about the Detroit Lions, is because when they're hitting on all cylinders and they're at their peak, they showed this season what they can look like and what they can do. I mean, you were 5-1 in your own division. You almost were 2-0 against the Minnesota Vikings, who won your division, lost in the first round of the playoffs, but still won 13 games. So the Lions, to me, they're building for the long term, obviously. There's guys that are going to be here for a while. But on top of that, you still have a ton of assets to fix holes on this team. Like, there's still plenty of work to do, and I think that's what makes it so exciting, is because you have Brad Holmes in the kitchen, and he's providing ingredients to Dan Campbell. So at the same time, there's a lot to be excited about. But that 4-game stretch I had to bring up because that shows that means something. I know, 3 of those games were at home, and that's the goal, to win your division and host a home playoff game. But the Lions this year at home, they looked like a different animal. Obviously, Jared looked like a different animal. The offense looked much, much better. And that's got to be the goal next season. If you can win that division and host a playoff game, seeing the results when this team's clicking on all cylinders, they're going to be a threat, Adam, to any team in the NFC. I do believe that.
I agree 100%. And I think what makes me most excited about what you said, Jeff, is there's substance to it, right? It's not just feeling. I felt Dan Campbell was going to work out. The fuck does that mean? Anybody? Now, you can get mad, but the reality is I'm paid on results. Jeff is paid on results. Okay? Which means if Jeff shows regression from Q1 to Q4 consistently, we got to talk about Jeff's future. If he's not progressing, if he's not getting better, if he's not delivering the results, this is life. If you work at a grocery store, if your drawer consistently comes up short, you're out of there. Winning matters. Substance matters. And they finally gave you something to hold on to. And I don't think it's bullshit. I don't think it's propaganda. I don't.
No.
I really don't. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. When we get back, what did you learn from watching the NFL Divisional round? Because I learned so much about the Detroit Lions that I didn't even expect to. I didn't even go into the weekend thinking about the Lions. And all I could think about was the Detroit Lions.
Agreed.
So we'll have that conversation coming up in just a minute. But before we do, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. What are you waiting for? Open 7 to 8. 7 days a week, walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. Their awesome stylists will take care of you like they take care of me as always. So get to a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Let me tell you about my good friends over at Matrix Home Solutions, a professional company. One of the best. A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. Whether you're looking to refinish, oh, hey, what's up, Stick? Whether you're looking to do it... Whether you're looking to, oh my God, I can't even do it. Whether you're looking to renovate your basement, your cabinets, your bathroom, you name it, your kitchen, whatever the hell you want to do, Matrix Home Solutions. They are the best option, the go-to option. I'll actually be considering them for my upstairs because me and the wife are expecting, by the way. And we will be reaching out. Thank you. We will be reaching out and getting our upstairs renovated a little bit. So I can't wait to work with them. And I'll definitely share my experience with all of you. But we're back here on the morning show, live, woodwardsports.com. Yes, I kind of dropped that. I didn't even mean to be honest with you.
Why you
That was
did.
kind of a secret up until then. But
Yeah, just kind of, hey, there you go.
The secret.
well, it's out there now. So there you go, guys. There you go. There we go. We're what are we? Approaching the 5th month now. So I've been holding this in pretty long time,
Let's go.
actually.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, right?
You know
How am I
what?
doing?
That Lamar Jackson isn't a franchise take. You kind of like, I'm a little more or less mad about it now. Now I'm happy.
Bro, I'm telling you. You know, I'm not even going to address that. I'm just not. Because then we're going to get into it for another 10 minutes, and it's just going to take forever. It's just...
Hey.
All right. This is a question for all of you. Jeff, I'd like you to answer this first.
Okay.
What did you learn watching the NFL Divisional round over the weekend that you didn't expect to learn?
Offensive coaching is a must. That's
Really?
what I learned. Because look at who the 4 teams are left. Can you name me their coaches for me?
Andy Reid, Zach Taylor, Kyle Shanahan.
Yes. There you
and
go.
Nick Sirianni.
There you go. All offensive coaches. And again, when we bring up things like Sean Payton saying Dan Campbell could be the offensive version of Mike Vrabel, that means something. Because this is what the league is right now. Look at Sean McDermott with the Buffalo Bills. Like, we've been talking about them not having an identity. They can't run the football for how long? Probably the past 2 seasons. When you think about the Chiefs, for example, and I know this is like a very extreme example, remember the Chiefs? They faced the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. They had a terrible offensive line. What happened that offseason? They fixed that offensive line so quick. And now look at the Chiefs. They have one of the best offensive lines currently in the NFL. Offensive coaching matters because not only is it good for problem solving, but if you look at the San Francisco 49ers and what Kyle Shanahan is doing with Brock Purdy, that would not happen. Now, Kyle Shanahan, one of the best coaches, but offensive coaches are what the sport is right now. And that's what I took away from the divisional round. Now, there's levels to this, like Mike McCarthy, offensive coach. Is he a great coach? I don't think so. I don't know. He's won a Super Bowl. I don't really know what his future holds in Dallas. That's still up in the air. But that's what I took away from it, is how valuable good offensive coaches are. Situational football, that's what I took away. And that's where the league is trending, and that's where it'll be for quite some time. That's why Ben Johnson is going to be floating around for the next couple off season until he's plucked away.
Yep. You know what? I want to agree with you. I don't think you're wrong, but can we agree defense matters?
And that is true too.
Even when it's not the priority and it doesn't get all the love and attention.
It is an offensive league, so it
is an offensive
your point
league.
Is correct. You need a good defense.
But defenses still matter at the end of the day.
Yes.
Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson, right? Frank Clark. You look at the guys like what is it? Chris Jones, I think, in Kansas City. Not Frank Clark. I think Chris Jones, who I'm referring
Chris
to.
Jones.
You look at the NFC side: Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Jimmy Ward. You go to the Eagles: Slay, Gardner, Bradbury. They got everybody. You got the interior. You got the defensive ends. They're stacked. You need talent. Now you can win a few games here and there if you don't have all the talent, all the glitz and glamour, yada yada yada. But there are limitations. There are limitations. So I learned the value of defenses, yes, but most importantly, I learned two things. One, I will not shame anybody who says the line should take a quarterback at number 6. That's the first thing I learned. Okay. Number 2, the second thing I learned was that the Lions will have the 4th and at best the 3rd best record in the NFC next year. They will. And they will win their division. And I have no doubts about it at all. And I don't know if I'm crazy. I don't know if I've done too many drugs. I don't know. I don't know what too much is, to be honest with you. All I know, without a doubt in my mind, they're going to improve in the offseason. They're going to hit on their draft picks like they always do. They're going to get better. Lions are going to be a problem in the NFC.
Think about what you just said, too. You just said they'll hit on their draft picks like they always do. Think about that narrative in Detroit, by the way, with the Lions. The fact that you're able to say that with Brad Holmes and what that front office has been able to do. Speaking of the Cardinals, they just plucked away one of Brad Holmes' top guys there, one of the top scouts for the Detroit Lions. He's the assistant GM for the Cardinals. They're building something special in that front office. And what you just said means a ton. The fact that you can confidently go into a draft and know that Brad Holmes isn't going to miss the obvious, right? That's what your job as a general manager is. Look at who's available. Don't mess it up. Brad Holmes has done a fantastic job. He's not even in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. We're talking deep in the draft, 6th-round picks. The fact that you have Brad Holmes, I think, is a big reason why you feel so confident, and I would agree with you. And I think coaching has improved as well. The fact that you're retaining your coaching staff for the most part. I mean, you got Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn coming back. That should provide more confidence. Jared Goff, one more season under Ben Johnson. Like, these things all tie together with Brad Holmes at the helm, improving this roster. I would agree with you. And the young players they have, Kirby Joseph, Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston, Malcolm Rodriguez, Jamison Williams. Like, you could go on and on. There's a lot to look forward to in the D. So I think next season, it's got to be contend for the division, minimum make the playoffs. But I'm with you. I think to have confidence in a general manager like that, yes, it's new, but get used to it. That's what good football teams are about. I mean, you look at the Chargers. Say what you want about Brandon Staley. You know Tom is going to fix stuff with the Chargers, no matter what. He's going to draft good players. So to your point, Brad Holmes is a big part of that, the confidence you have in this current regime. And Dan Campbell, he's a part of that as well.
Fair enough. All right, here's what we're going to do. And I can't believe I'm saying this. But I've got a special surprise for all of you. For 20 of you. For 20 of you, I should say. Okay? What that is, you'll find out during Mailbag. Okay? But Jeff, I want to wrap up with one thing. if you had to rank NFC coaches, top 5, give me your list going into next season. Because I think this is where shit gets interesting. Because we're not doubting the quarterback. We're not doubting the roster. And I'm not even doubting the coach right now. But where does he, in terms of the NFC, rank the coaches? And I'm not talking about how good their teams are.
Right.
Give me the
Coaches.
5 best coaches in the NFC.
I would say 1, Kyle Shanahan by a mile.
Okay.
And then you want to go 2. This is where it's tough because you're talking right now. Are you talking legacy?
Right now, not last year.
Okay,
You want to put Sean McVay?
We're talking right now.
Rightfully so, he's one of the best. But
I'll say Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. I would put Sirianni right below those guys. He's trending upwards.
Pete Carroll?
Yes, Pete
Brian
Carroll.
Dable?
Yes, he's there as well.
All over Dan.
And I think
that's my question.
Dan's right after those guys because he's still building.
I mean, think he's in the group of a Pete Carroll. I think Dable, call me crazy, I do think he's a level above Dan, given what he was able to accomplish this year. I thought it's unprecedented, actually. Yeah. So I got to give him the benefit of the doubt, but even Dan is creeping up there now.
Yes.
And now you're talking positively about him, so a lot of things are going in the right direction if you're a Detroit Lions fan. But let's take a break. When we get back, mailbag time. I have a special surprise for 20 of you in the chat right now. 20 of you will get a special surprise from me. Excited to share with all of you, of course. But before we do, Jeff, we got to go to break, and you got to tell us about our good friends over at Cintron.
Let me tell you about them, guys. Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling, new flavored energy beverages and premium bottled water. Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. Buy online at drinkcintron.com. You can also check Cintron out on Amazon as well. Get it shipped right to your door. Cintron is more than just a beverage. It's a lifestyle. Cintron doesn't just fit into your lifestyle, it enhances it, and it encourages you to look and feel the best self. Drink, live it with Cintron.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta right has you covered. Check them out. 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. I just dropped 20 subscriptions to 20 lucky winners. It's all random. I don't get to decide, so I hope you won. If you did, enjoy the 1 month, and then make sure you re-up because you get to upgrade your badges. It goes from bronze to silver to gold to ruby, and then if you're a year with us, which most of you till now have been, over a year, you get emerald green, which is the ultimate badge, and it unlocks an additional emote that's exclusive that nobody knows about, that you guys are going to have to figure out the hard way. So I'm very excited. I really am.
I cannot wait.
I'm very excited.
So if we're talking like tier 1, tier 2 quarterbacks, you're talking tier 1 right now.
Oh yeah, these are tier 1
features.
members. So
man,
look, it's the first stream with memberships. Okay, so I'm not gonna do mailbag with members only, but eventually I think you guys get the gist of this. We're gonna try to reward and have fun and do things differently, and whether it's weekend content that members only get to watch on our YouTube channel or whatever it may be, we're going to try to find really cool experiences that really enhance what you guys are doing every morning with us and spending your days.
And could I say something? Motown Cool just donated $10. Shout out to you, man, for supporting the network. I got to give a shout out, man. And just to see all the green in the chat, all the members, it means a ton. It shows how much people support the network and people that have been with us for a while. I mean, it's awesome. These emotes, by the way, are hilarious. I mean, you got the Adham with coming out with hookah smoke. You got brand new lions, Maz.
Oh, wait till they see the ones that are showing up tomorrow.
There are so many different emotes.
Oh man,
F the Packers.
You know what? I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna give out another 20.
You're being generous today. Did you have fun watching the Australian Open this morning?
I did not watch the Australian Open this morning. Who's playing, buddy?
I mean, there's no one on right now, but there were some good matches. Both, who was it? It was, there were 2 Americans that played this morning. That was fun. There's 2 Americans in the quarterfinals, too. Hopefully they make it to the finals. And, Rune and Rublev was awesome. They played a great tiebreaker, went all the way to the end. It was, one of the guys about 5-0, and he ended up coming back and winning it. So that's good. So, yeah, it was some great tennis he missed this morning.
Very interesting.
Are you watching Djokovic this weekend, assuming he'll get there?
Am I watching Djokovic? I don't know. Maybe. I have time.
And by the way, people, you're gifting random. You're not.
Yeah, I don't get to decide who they go to.
Yeah, which would be great, but it's not how that works. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, let's get to mailbag.
All right. You gotta make time.
I will.
You make time for NFL.
Okay.
Make time
fine.
for tennis.
For you, I'll make time. Let's get to mailbag. Drop your questions in the chat. All right. Drop your questions in the chat. Jeff and I will answer them. Man, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. This is going to be fun. First question in the chat is from, let's see, I missed it. I need to stop scrolling so fast. Jesus Christ. What is this membership thing? Asks Andrew. Andrew, long story short, this is a monthly package that we're offering on our YouTube channel. You can join the Woodward Sports family. We offer awesome badges, awesome emotes. You can spam Maz's face in the chat if you like Maz. If you don't like him, you can still do it just to piss him off. There's a lot of stuff you can do. We'll be dropping 30-plus emotes tomorrow morning as well, in addition to all these, so I'm excited. Adam, will you name your child after fish? Fuck no.
Yeah, I saw several of those.
Never. Adam, what's your TV setup for Sundays to watch games? Second question, Jeff, what'd you think about our guy, quote, Sweet Dreams, bringing the title back to the Mitten State? You want to answer first or me?
Yeah, Jamal Hill, man. A hell of a performance. On top of that, Brazil, that crowd was just atrocious overall. So I think that's a bad look for Brazil. But great look for Jamal Hill, by the way. Huge. I think he's the first fighter to ever win a title coming from Dana White's Contender Series. So that's big time. Shout out to Jamal Hill. He's Grand Rapids, works out there still. And he went on Easy Show before. So.
My TV setup is simple. It depends on the mood.
Let's see it.
If I'm locked in,
what do you got?
I go to the basement.
Yeah.
I got a 4-screen setup.
How do you not?
They're all individual. 2 are the national. Are the national. 1 is Sunday Ticket, and the other is Red Zone.
Smart.
That's when I'm fully geeked out. Fantasy football. My wife leaves me the hell alone. Now,
what about this Sunday?
This Sunday, I'll be upstairs in my living room. I'll have the game on. Eat some nice popcorn.
Oh, how do you
have a drink?
Oh.
Just enjoy myself.
Nice. What about the wings and the pizza? You went for popcorn? That's an interesting choice.
I'm a popcorn guy.
Okay.
Big fan of popcorn. All right, moving on. What other questions do we have? What are your stats for Jameson Williams next year? I'm going to go 72 catches. .72 catches, 1,172 yards.
Yeah, that's about where I have him.
6 touchdowns.
I think 1,100 yards that's reasonable.
This offense is not built on one player. It's built around distribution, and I think it'll continue that way with Ben Johnson next year. Red zone is terrible. Come on, Adam. Oh, what?
No, there are several people that like just watching the full game.
Red zone is terrible.
Yeah, there are people that think that.
Red zone, you are. There's a special place in hell for people like you. Shame on you. Shame on you. I'm so disappointed right now. Got an uncle that's concerned the Lions lost their college scout to Arizona. I'm not worried. Should we be? I'm not worried. No. When functional companies are successful, they lose successful people for other opportunities, and they go out and leave and grow. So what does that mean? That means they're doing a good job developing inside of the building.
Right.
And that they're able to work as a team, and not one person is responsible for everything. Now, some people are more responsible than others, but that's beyond the point. I think they'll be fine. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, and by the way, fun fact, Dave Sears, who was hired to be the assistant general manager in Arizona, he was a big reason why they drafted James Houston. So, fun fact on that. But he's been with the organization for quite some time. He wasn't Brad Holmes' hire. He's been here since, he was a scout in 2007, something like that. So, yeah, not a good thing to see him leave. But to your point, Adam, that's the argument we make. I mean, if you're a good organization, should be able to replace those guys.
All right, what else we got, Jeff? Woodward Sports has become the Pat McAfee show. To an extent, I think it's fun, man. I love it. I love this kind of stuff. I think it brings so much to the table. What else we got here?
Bo says Mailbag Trevor Lawrence is mid.
Yeah, and Bo also thinks that JFK was killed by, what's his face? Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
You know? How do you know?
That comment took kahunas. Is drafting Bijan Robinson at 18 considered drafting cocaine? No.
No, that is considered drafting fake cocaine. It's all a mirage.
It's powdered sugar.
It's powdered sugar wrapped up in a box.
How do you not put that, Jeff? How do you not put that in some pancakes?
Yeah. I will.
All right.
I agree there.
How do you not?
Do the Wings and Larkin come to an agreement before the trade deadline?
Yeah.
I would assume so, but
he's here to stay.
I hope so. I don't know what the contract, the specifics of it is, but if he's asking for $9-10 million, I mean that's we'll see how.
I would love to have a mid quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. I really would.
I know.
Must be nice.
I know. That
must be nice not having to worry about your quarterback position for the next 10-12 years.
I know.
Must be nice.
I don't listen.
Must be nice. What do I know?
Yeah, I don't think he's mid. I think that's a little over the top.
Oh God. Let's see. If the Lions host a playoff game, the city will get burned down. How can you not? I agree, man. It's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. Let's see. Who's the best cornerback in this draft? Would you guys draft him? Yeah, I'm going Devin Witherspoon. I think he's better than Ringo. And on top of that, on top of Witherspoon, honestly, I think a close 1B, and I could even make the argument he's maybe better, is Joey Porter Jr. I'm in love with both of those guys. Those are my two guys this draft. If you're going to draft a corner, it's Witherspoon, it's Porter, and nobody else, in my opinion.
Another corner that you might be able to get in the second round, big fan of, Manuel Forbes. A little smaller, thinner
You've
frame.
mentioned him a few times
big playmaker. Now. I think he's in that conversation as well, but I don't think he'll go in the first round.
All right, well, that's it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. As always, Adham, Beydoun, Jeff Iafrate, the Morning Woodward Show. For Fish, for Alex, Matt, thanks for hanging out with us today. Jeff, thank you so much as always. Thank you to everybody who joined the channel as a member. It's appreciated. We'll be dropping new and cooler stuff tomorrow morning. Can't wait for you guys to check it out. Make sure you spam them in all the chats today when you watch the other shows. Big D Energy coming up at 11 o'clock. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. We're out of here.
Happy Monday. Go watch all the sports today. How do you not?